That would be me. Hey, folks, good morning. We're just going to give it a minute or two for the beeps to stop. Just bear with us.
In the web join site, at least on my PC. Oh, nope, now it's going. Okay.
Okay, we've got folks still dialing in. If everybody could hit mute, if you would. If you're not speaking, that would be terrific, so for better audio quality. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get started. We're just a couple of minutes after the top of the hour. We thank you for joining us today. We're having another nor'easter here in the Northeast. I guess that's why they call it that. It's just rain, though, so not too bad. But we appreciate your time today. We've got an action-packed 30 minutes that I hope will be helpful for everybody. I want to go ahead and just move forward here. Okay, and everybody's got mute on the phone. Thank you. Okay, hi again, this is Glenn McDonald, and a pleasure to be with you here today. We've got a nice session today. On the phone with me, I know we have Art Cartier. Hello, Art.
Hey, Glenn. Good.
Hey.
Good to be on.
Art. Hey, thanks, Art. Art's going to speak about incremental releases after a little bit of an introduction as to what happened at CA World 2014. I believe we also have Rick here there as well. Rick?
Yep, I'm on. Hi, everyone.
All right. Good morning. Thanks, Rick. And I see we have also Mike Dubois, and I believe Scott Davidson on the line as well.
Well, this is Mike. I'm here, Glenn. How are you today?
Oh, very good. Good, thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Scott's here, too.
Hello, Scott.
Hi.
Good morning. Okay, let's get right into it. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. We will have this recorded as well, so anybody that was unable to join will be able to listen. In terms of the agenda, we're going to speak about just some highlights from CA World 2014. I'll just give you a little bit of an overview as to what specifically we discussed regarding application development and the tools that you all use on this call. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about migrating enhancement requests to Ideation and what's involved with that. But before we do that, we're going to have Art Cartier speak about agile development and incremental releases. Okay, so for those that just joined, if you could hit mute on your phones, that would be great. So in taking a look at how we all use these tools, we took a look at three different aspects. I just wanted to share with you very quickly some of the things that we know are important to you. We know that as mainframe developers, it's important to find a way to reduce debugging time so you can meet SLAs and keep customers satisfied. We also know that you need a way to easily and securely access production or test databases and files. That helps maintain data accuracy and the integrity of the data integrity that helps to keep the business running smoothly. We also need a way to speed test data creation to reduce application failures due to untested conditions. Some other examples, as an operations manager for the mainframe, well, they need a way to be able to ensure high availability to meet or exceed SLAs. They also need a way to prevent or quickly resolve advents to minimize disruptions. And also a way to simplify finding the root cause of application slowdowns and failures to reduce mean time to repair and maintain customer satisfaction.
Value. If you want the best value and you appreciate.
All right, if we can hit mute, that would be terrific. As a mainframe applications manager, you need a way to help the new staff understand and maintain core mainframe applications to support and grow the business. There's a wealth of new talent coming on board for the mainframe, so we understand that there has to be a way to help this new staff. So with both the veterans and the new staff, how can they share one solution to be more productive? And then finally, how can I seamlessly introduce mobile application development into my existing environment? I don't think that there's a company on this phone that is not, if they're not doing it already, planning on doing mobile development. So we want to talk a little bit about what our plans are for the future long range. Now, towards the bottom of the screen, you can see here that there are certain things that are key to any shop, including yours, to build and maintain the critical mainframe business applications that run the business. We understand that is the lifeblood and the engine that runs the company. You have to also be able to manage modifications and enhancements over time, but then also these applications, in many cases, need to be modernized to be able to move with today's agile IT organizations. So the solutions we have currently you're very familiar with is FileMaster Plus and Intertest, right, and SimDEM and all the testing tools. And really that helps to maintain the existing applications, again, these core critical applications. And of course we understand that there are changes that need to be made to these applications, performance tuning and so forth, still very critical. To the right, modernizing with things like Gen and Plex to be able to create web-based and SOA-based applications or using RESTful APIs, and managing the whole process with source control management like Endeavor or Harvest. So that's the current solutions that we have. The direction that our business unit is going, and again, this is beyond testing tools, but our entire business unit under Michael Maggio, is to introduce these new solutions, the Application Lifecycle Conductor, which was introduced at CA World, App Services Orchestrator, which is a work in progress, and the Unified Software Change Manager, which essentially will help to round out our portfolio to allow you to help manage, build, and maintain applications from mobile to mainframe. Okay, this is an evolutionary process. We're not going to get there overnight, but we want you to understand that it's still very critical to get your input with our solution sets, FileMaster Plus, Intertest, SimDEM, and so forth, so that we continue to build great software with your input. Now, taking another look at this, you can see here on the left-hand side, you have the sysprogs and the applications programmers using Intertest and FileMaster Plus to maintain and modify the back-end application logic and data sources. They may decide they want to take an application and then perhaps using one of our new solutions be able to build a mobile application, but it still may tie back to the mainframe, DB2 or Datacom or IDMS on the mainframe. It may tie back to a COBOL or CICS program or batch program. That whole process really should be managed as well from mobile to mainframe with solutions like Endeavor and Harvest. So that really is wrapping up a few days of sessions into about 7 minutes in terms of what we presented at CA World for our vision for application development. We want folks to know that CA is AppDev, and we are totally dedicated to working with you to support your existing applications and to help build new ones. Now, this is a little bit wordy here, but a little bit of an introduction for Art Cartier, who's going to take us through agile development and incremental releases. But essentially, we wanted to spend a couple of minutes to talk about the process, and after the process, talk a little bit about some of the new incremental releases that were just introduced for these products. So I'd like to introduce Art Cartier. Hello, Art.
Hey, Glenn. Thanks. Thanks for the introduction, and welcome everybody. For those of you who have not had any interface or any information up front about what we're doing now within CA regarding Agile or how we're delivering some of our Agile development, enhancements, et cetera, I wanted to talk quickly about, Glenn, could you go back one slide? Just quickly about what we're doing on the Intertest and SimDEM side. All right, so we have an ongoing Agile project. We call it internally Intertest 9.1. All right, but it consists of 5 products. All right, and the 2 Intertest products, Batch and CICS, and the 3 SimDEM products, which would be Batch, CICS, and System. Glenn, are you moving those slides, or is that me?
Sorry, I wanted to catch up with what you were saying. I'll move it back.
Okay. No, well, I wanted to go back to the. I want to go. Yeah, you're jumping ahead of me a little bit. Just stay right there, and then I'll tell you when to move. Okay. Thanks. So the way we're delivering the features that we are implementing in our current Agile development project is through what we call the new incremental release delivery model. Right. So I'm going to show you a schematic on that, which would be the next slide. If you go to the next slide, Glenn. All right, so this is different than what you're familiar with in the past. If you look at the top release, which is 9.0, that's our current GA release for SimDump. It would be 8.5 for the Intertest products. And of course, those releases are currently in what we call service stream only maintenance mode. That's where you get your PTFs and apply them. Now, in the past, we had been, addressing customer enhancement requests in our what we call our GA releases or service stream only releases, and we are no longer doing that. Right now, we are delivering any new product enhancements in what we call an incremental release. And that's what you see down below on the second row, right, where you see the 9.1 releases. So where we are today is that we are basically at that first blue dot that you see on the second row. We have some new 9.1 product releases for Intertest and SimDump available today for you to download, right? You have to do a click on incremental release agreement if you decide to install these particular releases. And we do have some new features in these releases which are available today, and I will cover that in the next couple slides. And we'll also be delivering, if you see the second, third, and fourth blue dots, new features within the next, let's say, 3 to 4 months for the 9.1 releases. And at some point, we expect maybe around May, June timeframe of 2015, where you see that second row again, where the red diamond is. That will be where we will hopefully turn our 9.1 release into what we call a complete release, and it will be service stream only. And then we will again proceed on with the next release, which will, at this point in time, we're considering it as a 9.2 release. So just want to let you know how this is going to work and where we are today. So we're sitting here at this new Agile feature. First blue dot on the second row down, and if we go to the next slides, I'll explain what's available today if you were to download these releases. Thanks, Glenn. So again, the 9.1 incremental release project is going to be 5 products, as I explained earlier, right? There's some significant enhancements in these releases. Some products, such as the CICS products, will probably have more enhancements than the non-CICS, but we'll talk about those in the next slides. If you can move the slide, please. All right, so today, if you were to go online, supportca.com, and you were to go to the download page, you could select Intertest or SimDump CICS 9.1, and you'd have to click on the incremental release agreement. But what you would get is a fully installable Intertest and SimDump 9.1 products, and you will have support for CICS Transaction Server 5.2. There's a much simpler installation process in these 2 releases. We've reduced the number of FMIDs from 18, what would have been 18, down to 3. And we now support multiple program versions of a single program in the same ProtSim. We have updated our GUI interface, our Eclipse GUI interface, to use Eclipse 4.2.2. And also there's a significant improvement in the SimDump CICS dump capture performance that you will be able to realize when you install this product. Now, if you were to install today SimDump System 9.1, which is available as of, I believe, last week, you will get support for Transaction Server 5.2, as well as support for the Eclipse 4.2 framework within our GUI. And SimDump Batch, once again, just like SimDump System, is available as of last week. And you will have support for multiple program versions. And if you were using the GUI, you would get the Eclipse 4.2 framework as part of the Eclipse GUI. So this is what's available today if you were to download the 9.1 releases for incremental installation. And then if you go to the next slide, Glenn, Intertest Batch, which is currently being QA'd, will be available, we expect, shortly, maybe within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And what you will see when you have the Intertest Batch 9.1 incremental release available, you will have, again, multiple program version support in a single ProtSim, the Eclipse 4.2, and also you'll have the support for what we call mixed case for the green screen, which is both display, keep, and set commands. This particular feature is really catching up to how the Intertest CICS product works, as well as how the GUI works, so that everything will work the same. So that will be in the 9.1 release. Now, once all 5 9.1 releases are available, we call that the first incremental, we will be producing PTFs over the next 4 months, as I mentioned earlier, which will have additional new features for these products. And then, again, by the hopefully May or June timeframe, we will make this a complete what we call GA release, and it'll be available for installation by any customer without the need to, sign in and agree to the click on incremental release. So if anybody wants to see how this works, go to supportca.com, go to the download center, enter test CICS 9.1, and then you can say I want to download it. You'll get a window that says, here's our incremental release program. You'll be able to read what it's all about, and if you decide you want to install it, just say I agree, and you'll be able to download it. All right. So hopefully, you all decide to do that. If for those of you that are interested, and we'd love to get your feedback. And one more thing I want to mention is that we still have this Agile project underway, right? So we're looking for participants still. We still have more features coming up. We're planning on improving the composite feature significantly. So if any of you on the phone are interested in participating, with our team during the Agile project, please, drop me a note or Glenn a note, and we'd love to get you on board. And I think that's all I have, Glenn. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Art. And just to reiterate, in terms of participation, I think, Art, what is it, like about maybe an hour a month on a call or something? Is that what the commitments are?
Yeah, it's typically, what it boils down to is our sprints are 1 month in length and duration, and at the end of the sprint, if we have something significant to show any customers who are participating, we'll schedule, a 30-minute to a 1-hour meeting to show and get your feedback, show what we've done. And, we've gotten feedback from participating customers over the first 10 sprints so far, and we've made some changes based on that feedback. So if you want to, participate, we'd love to have you.
Great. Thanks, Art. We're going to pause here for a couple of minutes and take any questions or comments you have before a couple of announcements. And the last slide will be on how to connect with us. So any questions or comments from anybody from what you've heard? Okay, no questions. Would anybody like to share what they liked best about what they heard? Don't be shy. Okay, I'm getting a message online that says, happy to hear about the ability to have incremental releases. Terrific. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Oh, when was the last incremental release available? I guess that would mean when was the latest incremental release? When was that put out? I guess that's the question, Art.
Okay. The first incremental release for Intertest and SimDEM CICS for 9.1 was available on November 5th, and the very first incremental release installation for SimDEM system and SimDEM batch was available last Wednesday, which was, I'd have to go back, it would be December 2nd or 3rd. And again, the first Intertest batch 9.1 incremental release should be available within the next 3 weeks. Now, once you install the incremental release for any one of these products, as we develop new features, what you'll get is a PTF. We'll be sending new features in PTF format, right? So you won't have to do a reinstall. You'll just install what we call an incremental PTF, which will deliver new functionality, all right?
Terrific. Thank you very much, Art. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to just a couple things then, and if you have any questions that come up, again, you can send them online as you did, or you can simply speak up. One thing we're very happy to announce is FileMaster Plus for DB2 for ZOS. We announced this at CA World. And essentially, for those of you that know and love FileMaster Plus, you'll be happy to know that there is a version that does support DB2 now. So for the basic functionality for being able to browse and update DB2 databases, there's no need to go out to a full-fledged DB2 management tool that sometimes may be a little bit cryptic for an applications programmer like myself to use. So we made this available. Rick, is there anything you'd like to add regarding FileMaster Plus for DB2?
No, except that you're showing the FileMaster Plus for ZOS screen. but it's very similar looking. So just if people are a little bit confused with that, it still will show it in kind of a formatted mode or in character mode, same exact thing. So it's very similar. So the look and feel for all of these Eclipse interfaces are very, very similar between IMS, DB2, and MBS.
This really was an eye test, and I failed it. I'll make an appointment with the eye doctor. So thank you. But folks, good catch, Rick. And folks, yeah, just so you're aware, I copied the wrong screen in, but very similar look and feel. And you can always, again, reach out to us. We'd be happy to show it to you. So thanks very much. I'd like to make another announcement here as well. We are saddened but happy for Rick Steer. Rick Steer is going to be retiring at the end of this year. So we just want to wish the best of luck to Rick for many, many years of terrific work, partnership, and foresight and leadership. And we just wanted to pause real quick and wish you, Rick, from this group all the best in the world. And you are an honorary lifetime member. You can still join these calls if you like.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very good. Okay, folks, we're going to just move on to a couple of things in terms of connecting with us and then take any final questions you may have. You know about the Testing Tools community. Okay, you can get to it many different ways, ca.com/communities. You can get to it directly from ca.com. Up on top, click on communities. And you can also get to it directly from support as well. When you sign in to the communities or with your support ID, that enables you to do a little bit more within the communities than just browsing some of the latest news. In addition to that, we have these monthly webcasts, which are typically on the third Tuesday of every month, except when they're not. So there are times when it may vary, but we want to make sure we've got something of value when we have these delivered. And you know, on these, you're going to get the same type of news, tips, and tricks that you've always been getting. We also have Tuesday tips from our subject matter experts. Okay, Bob DeLello and Bill Ganji do a great job every Tuesday of sending out a tip on usage of our products that goes out to members of our community. So if you haven't joined the community formally, it's real easy. Just go to ca.com/communities or the other ways, look for Testing Tools, and sign up. Okay, in terms of support, as you know, there's support.ca.com, which is evolving over time to better support you. We've got world-class technicians that know these products inside and out, that are, you know, really the go-to people when you have questions. The documentation is now also available on ca.com. Okay, if you want to get to the product doc, if you go to ca.com and you go to one of the product pages, you can access the doc directly from there. Okay, let me pause before I get into ideation and see if there are any comments or questions thus far. Okay, so we'll wrap it up in the final 6 minutes here talking about ideation. Ideation is our area within the community to post ideas for enhancement requests. For those of you over the years that have entered what's called DARs, the demand analysis requests, through our support system, they're being migrated over to Ideation on December 15th. Okay, what we've done is we've taken all of the enhancement requests and ideas that you've had. We, in some cases, have reworded things to make them a little bit more formalized or standardized to allow, you know, other people to see the ideas. And when the ideas are posted in the community, other folks in the community can read them, vote on them, and then that's how we're going to prioritize the enhancements that will be delivered to you. Essentially, we want to be able to provide the most functionality for the most people that we can, and that's a good way to do it, by having folks see, okay, here's all the requests for enhancements, and you know, oh, there's mine, and I see it's been voted on, and so forth. So this is going to be a process that will take place December 15th is the date we're going to migrate everything over. So on our next call, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about it and see if you have questions. But again, for those of you that have submitted enhancement requests, those will be migrated over. If you don't see yours there in particular, you can always contact me, Glenn McDonald. That's glenn.mcdonald, M-C, D-O-N-A-L-D, at ca.com. I'd be happy to help you out. Okay? Well, that's pretty much all I had for today in terms of coverage of the, let me go back to the original agenda here. see if there's any questions. The highlights from CA World. Again, CA is an AppDev company, and you know, a very important part of AppDev is the mainframe applications that we all know and love and work on. So again, development and work continues on those products as we evolve with you towards the mobile world. Okay, moving request into ideation we just covered, and I know you're all familiar with that now. Start to the fine job in the agile development and incremental releases. So we've got about 3 minutes left. Let me see if there's any final questions or comments anybody has. If not, we'll close the call out 2 minutes early. We thank you for your time. Stay tuned for the next webcast, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.